Breaking news: Trump's tariff pause sparks market chaos, cabinet debate, and global response. Welcome to Pulse of the World, where today's breaking story dives deep into one of the most dramatic economic developments in recent years. President Donald Trump's unexpected move to pause the implementation of sweeping tariffs has set off a wave of political tension, financial market volatility, and global diplomatic responses. What was intended as a strategic adjustment has become a flashpoint in both Washington and Wall Street, and the effects are rippling far beyond U.S. borders. The president is set to meet with his cabinet, a high-stakes gathering that could determine the next chapter of his administration's economic policy. The pause, announced just yesterday, came after increasing pressure from financial leaders, foreign governments, and even some of Trump's closest allies. Markets had reacted positively in the short term with a dramatic bounce. But today, the uncertainty has returned. CNN Chief National Affairs Correspondent Jeff Zeleny reports that the president's decision was heavily influenced by Treasury Secretary Scott Benson, who strongly urged Trump to reconsider the speed and scale of the proposed tariffs. Benson warned that the bond markets were reacting severely and that investor confidence was being seriously shaken. The cabinet meeting now underway is expected to feature a debate among key players with sharply different views, ranging from the Treasury to the U.S. Trade Representative and possibly even Elon Musk, who has become an increasingly vocal critic of tariff policy. Elon Musk, known for his disruptive innovations in tech and energy, has recently criticized the tariff plan on social media, calling it damaging to American innovation and supply chains. His presence, or absence, in the cabinet meeting room is raising eyebrows, as observers wonder whether Trump will listen to alternative voices or continue to lean into his protectionist trade instincts. Kevin Hassett, the president's top economic advisor, has confirmed that more than 15 countries have submitted new trade proposals. Offers are now being reviewed from key U.S. allies, including Japan and South Korea, as the administration attempts to reframe the trade war narrative and build a unified front against China. While the trade war with China rages on, the White House is quietly seeking to solidify support from partner nations. But critics argue that the damage may already be done. Senator Adam Schiff and other Democrats are questioning the timing of Trump's market statements, pointing to a suspicious window between his now famous "Be Cool" tweet, which encouraged investors to buy stocks, and his official announcement of the tariff pause just hours later. The implication? Market manipulation, or at the very least, unethical timing that benefited select insiders. Hassett and other officials deny any wrongdoing, insisting there was no leak of sensitive information. But with Republicans holding the majority in Congress, a formal investigation remains unlikely, for now. Meanwhile, on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, the mood is increasingly tense. Vanessa Cabot, CNN's business and politics correspondent, reports live from Wall Street, where veteran traders like Peter Tuchman describe yesterday's rally as more of a relief reaction than genuine confidence. Today's numbers tell a different story. The Dow is down over 2.5%, the Nasdaq has dropped more than 4%, and the S&P 500 is off by nearly 3.5%. Behind those numbers lies a deeper uncertainty. Traders and analysts alike are asking one crucial question: what is the off-ramp? What path will lead the United States out of this economic conflict without deepening the divide with China or alienating allies in Europe, Asia, and Latin America? One analyst suggested that some negotiations may not even be about tariffs at all. Talks with China could soon include issues like tech security, TikTok ownership, or access to global shipping lanes such as the Panama Canal. These broader geopolitical concerns suggest that the tariff issue is only the tip of the iceberg. Investors are also eyeing the price of oil, which has fallen sharply to under $60 a barrel, its lowest point since April 2021. Bond yields have also declined, signaling growing fears of recession. Even J.P. Morgan has held firm on its 60% recession probability forecast. These signs point to a market still gripped by volatility and skepticism. Across the Atlantic, European markets are reacting strongly to America's 90-day pause. Since EU markets were closed when the announcement was made, today's opening saw a rally. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen confirmed that the EU will match the pause with its temporary freeze on retaliatory tariffs. However, she warned that if negotiations stall, countermeasures will resume immediately. This tentative moment of alignment offers a glimpse of hope, but also a warning. Both sides recognize that diplomacy is still possible, yet fragile. For now, European investors are cautiously optimistic, but there's still fear that another hardline turn from Washington could derail the progress. The conflicting viewpoints within Trump's cabinet are also under intense scrutiny. On one side are advisors like Treasury Secretary Benson and Hassett, who advocate for negotiation and international cooperation. On the other are figures like Peter Navarro, who continue to push for America First policies and economic nationalism. Bill Ackman, billionaire investor and founder of one of the country's most influential hedge funds, weighed in recently. Ackman had previously criticized Trump's tariffs, calling them economic nuclear war. But now, with the 90-day pause in effect, he is praising the president's decision as the art of the deal in action. This shift has stirred debate over whether Wall Street is willing to forgive Trump's unpredictability as long as markets recover. Indeed, the political and financial worlds remain closely entangled. Trump's base may cheer his toughness on trade, but international markets and foreign governments are watching nervously. Many wonder, can the U.S. continue to push unilateral economic policies without losing long-term credibility? Back in Washington, the cabinet meeting continues. Sources say the discussion is heated but productive. Each department has been asked to present its analysis of the tariffs' effects. Elon Musk's name has come up multiple times. His calls for smarter, tech-forward trade strategies may resonate more now that markets have shown how volatile they can become. Beyond the headlines, ordinary Americans are beginning to feel the effects. Farmers in the Midwest are struggling to export crops. Auto manufacturers face new sourcing dilemmas. Retailers worry about rising prices heading into the holiday season, and small businesses tied to international suppliers are scrambling to adapt. This moment represents a crossroads for U.S. economic policy. The stakes are not only political but deeply personal, affecting jobs, savings, and global stability. If the administration fails to chart a clear course, the consequences could extend far beyond election cycles. At Pulse of the World, we'll continue following this story as it develops hour by hour. From Wall Street to Washington, Brussels to Beijing, this trade story touches every corner of our globalized economy. So if you care about truth in reporting, clarity in analysis, and context behind the chaos, be sure to subscribe to our channel, Pulse of the World. We're here to break it down, connect the dots, and keep you informed. Thanks for watching. Stay alert, stay informed, stay with Pulse of the World.